Hey everyone, and welcome back. If you're tuning in, you're probably thinking about IVF and how to make it actually work right.
Yeah, definitely a lot of people are in that boat.
So today we're going to do a deep dive into some really cool insights from the Berkeley Center in New York City.
They're really interesting.
Yeah, they're known for this kind of unique approach where they blend traditional Chinese medicine, TCM for short, with all the latest fertility tech, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating combination.
So you might be thinking, okay, age is like the be-all and end-all when it comes to egg quality.
Right.
But the good news is there's actually a ton you can do to boost your chances no matter what your age is.
That's a really crucial point. Age is definitely a factor,
Right.
but it doesn't tell the whole story.
Okay, so help me understand this. Why is egg quality such a big deal for IVF success?
Well, you can think of a good quality egg as like the foundation for a healthy pregnancy.
Okay.
It needs the right chromosomes, like the genetic blueprint,
Right.
and enough energy to actually make fertilization happen. So basically, a healthier egg means a lower chance of miscarriage and fewer genetic risks for the baby.
So it's not just about getting pregnant, it's about having a healthy pregnancy overall.
Exactly.
Okay, so what happens after 35? Does egg quality just take a nosedive?
Well, there is a natural decline. That's
Mhm.
true, especially after 35.
Mm-hmm.
But decline doesn't mean it's game over. There's a lot of things you can control that can make a big difference.
Okay, so the clock is ticking, but it's not a total shutdown fuse.
Exactly.
What can we do to actually improve egg quality? I see ads for supplements all the time. Is that the answer?
You know, it's really not about those fancy supplements. It's much simpler than that.
Okay, I am so down for simple solutions, so tell me more about these natural approaches.
Well, diet is a really big one.
You're going to tell me to eat my vegetables right.
Uh-huh. Well, yes and no.
Okay.
It's not just about eating healthy in general. It's about making smart choices.
Nick, what kind of choices are we talking about?
So things like berries, leafy greens, nuts and seeds, they're full of antioxidants.
Yeah.
And those fight free radicals, which can actually damage your eggs.
Interesting.
The Berkeley Center actually has a preconception diet plan you can download for free on their website.
Free and helpful. I like it. I'll have to check that out. What else should we be thinking about?
Exercise is also important.
So hitting the gym every day.
Not necessarily. You don't have to be training for a marathon or anything.
Okay.
Moderate activity is key, like walking, yoga, swimming.
Okay, things that most people can do.
Exactly.
Gotcha. So finding ways to move our bodies that feel good, not punishing ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but how does that actually help our eggs?
Well, it increases blood flow, which includes to your reproductive system.
Okay.
And it helps you maintain a healthy weight. Both of those contribute to better hormonal balance, which is really important for good egg quality.
Right. Hormones are the key players in all of this. And speaking of hormones, let's talk about stress.
Okay.
We all know it's bad for us, but how does it actually impact egg quality?
Well, when we're stressed, our bodies release cortisol, right?
Yeah.
And cortisol can actually mess with ovulation if it's too high.
Oh, wow.
So high levels of cortisol throw off your hormones and make it harder to conceive.
So managing stress isn't just about feeling better. It's about actually creating a healthier environment for those eggs.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. What else do we need to be mindful of?
Sleep is super important.
I feel like I hear that all the time.
Yeah, it might seem basic, but when you sleep, your body is actually balancing those hormones and repairing itself.
I thought it was just about feeling rested.
It's more than that. When
Yeah.
you don't get enough sleep, those hormones get thrown off balance, and that can have a direct impact on your eggs.
So it's giving our bodies a chance to reset and optimize everything, including those little eggs.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, anything else we should be aware of?
One final point, and it's a big one, toxins.
Okay, now I'm getting nervous. What kind of toxins are we talking about?
You know, a lot of everyday things can contain chemicals that can impact egg quality.
Like what?
Well, things like pesticides in our food,
Okay.
harsh chemicals in cleaning products, and even some plastics.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have never thought about that. My cleaning products affecting my fertility.
Yeah, surprising, but it's true.
So what can we do to reduce our exposure?
Even small changes can make a difference. So choosing organic fruits and vegetables, switching to natural cleaning products,
Okay.
and minimizing your use of plastic, especially those containing BPA.
Okay, so it's being mindful of what we're putting in our bodies, on our bodies, and what we're surrounding ourselves with.
Exactly. It's about
Yeah.
creating a healthier environment inside and out. And that can make a big difference for your fertility.
Okay, this is all great advice, but gotta admit, this whole traditional Chinese medicine thing has me intrigued. It's a bit mysterious,
Yeah, it could seem that way.
like a secret weapon for fertility.
It's not so much a secret as it is a different perspective.
Okay, I'm all ears. How does TCM view fertility and egg quality then?
Well, TCM is all about restoring balance in your whole system
Mm-hmm.
for overall well-being, not just masking symptoms.
Interesting.
It's a really holistic approach, mind, body, and spirit.
So it's about getting to the root of the problem, not just putting a Band-Aid on it.
Exactly.
No.
And when it comes to fertility, TCM focuses on optimizing the flow of energy, what they call qi.
Qi, I've heard of that, but I'm not really sure what it is.
Yeah, you can think of qi like your vital life force, the energy that keeps everything running smoothly.
Oh, okay.
So when your qi is flowing freely, you feel balanced, energized, and your reproductive system can work at its best.
Okay, that makes sense. So how does TCM actually go about restoring this balance and improving egg quality?
Well, that's where practices like acupuncture and herbal medicine come in.
Okay, acupuncture, isn't that just sticking needles in people? How does that help with egg quality?
Yeah, well, it's a little more than just needles.
Okay.
And TCM acupuncture stimulates specific points along these energy pathways, which helps promote the flow of qi and blood circulation.
Oh, wow. So it's not just for pain relief. It can actually rebalance the body's energy.
Exactly. And studies have shown that acupuncture can actually increase blood flow, specifically to the reproductive organs.
Interesting. So it's like giving those ovaries a little boost.
Exactly.
Okay, what about herbal medicine? Is it like drinking weird teas?
Haha. Not necessarily weird, but definitely powerful. Herbal medicine in TCM is super personalized.
Okay.
Practitioners choose herbs based on your individual needs and imbalances.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. It's like a custom blend for your situation.
Precisely, some herbs help regulate the menstrual cycle, others improve egg quality or support hormonal balance.
This is fascinating. So with TCM, we've got acupuncture boosting blood flow and then herbal medicine targeting those specific imbalances.
Right. It's a holistic way to really optimize your fertility from the inside out.
Okay, I get that.
Ooh.
But how does this all fit with like modern IVF treatments?
That's what's so cool about the Berkeley Center. They've actually integrated TCM with these modern reproductive technologies.
So they're combining ancient wisdom with cutting-edge science.
Exactly. They offer a really comprehensive approach to fertility treatment.
Wow. What does this integration look like in practice?
They offer a whole range of services.
Of what?
Personalized acupuncture protocols that work with IVF cycles, herbal consultations to create custom formulas,
Wow.
nutritional guidance, even stress reduction techniques.
So it's like a one-stop shop for everything fertility, but with this unique East meets West twist.
Exactly. And it's not just about the variety of services, it's about the collaborative care too.
Okay, what does that mean?
So the Berkeley Center actually works with your fertility doctors to make sure everyone's on the same page and you're getting the most holistic plan possible.
That's amazing. It takes the pressure off of having to figure it all out on your own. So how do people even get started with the Berkeley Center?
Super easy. You can call them at 212-685-0985 or visit their website at www.berkelcenter.com.
Perfect. We'll be sure to include those details in the show notes so you can easily check them out.
Great.
So before we move on, let's just quickly recap what we've learned so far.
Yeah, I think the big takeaway is that knowledge is power, right? Especially when you're dealing with fertility challenges.
That's what the deep dive is all about. We've learned that IVF success isn't just about luck. There are things you can actually do to improve your chances.
We talked about the importance of egg quality and how even simple lifestyle changes like diet, exercise, stress management, sleep, and minimizing toxins can make a real difference.
And then we explored the world of TCM and discovered how acupuncture and herbal medicine offer these really unique ways to rebalance your body and create a more fertile environment.
And finally, we touched on the Berkeley Center's really innovative approach, integrating these two worlds, modern reproductive tech and the wisdom of TCM.
It's a lot to take in, but the key message here is that you have more control over your fertility journey than you might think.
Exactly. It's really empowering.
And speaking of feeling empowered, this brings up an interesting question.
What's that?
What small change from today's deep dive could you make that would help you feel more in control of your fertility journey?
That's a great question.
It could be trying those antioxidant-rich berries we talked about, or finally signing up for that yoga class. Whatever it is, remember that every step you take is a step towards empowering yourself.
Exactly.
Now you have the knowledge, and knowledge is power. We're rooting for you on this amazing journey.
You got this. It's pretty amazing when you realize how much control we actually have over our fertility.
Totally, especially when you're dealing with something as, complex as IVF.
Right.
Yeah. And speaking of taking control, The Berkeley Center's approach really stood out to me, that whole personalized thing.
Oh, absolutely. Cookie-cutter solutions rarely work, especially when it comes to something as individual as fertility.
Right, we're all unique, so why should our fertility treatments be any different?
Exactly. And that's where integrating TCM gets really interesting. It's not about applying some generic protocol. It's about understanding your specific needs, imbalances, and goals.
So instead of getting like the standard IVF playbook, you're getting a fertility detective on your side.
Uh-huh. I love that analogy.
Figuring out what's really going on and tailoring a plan just for you.
The TCM practitioner is like a detective, but also kind of like a gardener, nurturing your well-being to create the best possible conditions for a healthy pregnancy.
Okay, I'm loving this gardening metaphor. So instead of just focusing on the seeds, the eggs, it's about nourishing the whole ecosystem.
Exactly. That's a key difference with TCM. It's not about just treating the symptoms of infertility. It's about addressing the root causes and creating balance in your whole being.
Which makes sense because fertility isn't just about our physical bodies, right?
Absolutely. It's tied to our emotional and mental well-being, too.
Totally. And that's where things like stress reduction and mindfulness come in, I bet.
Right on. The Berkeley Center really gets that stress can be a huge obstacle for people.
And we talked about how those stress hormones can wreak havoc on our systems, including our reproductive system.
For sure. That's why they incorporate things like meditation, deep breathing exercises, and even yoga into their plans.
So it's not just about needles and herbs. It's about cultivating this sense of calm and well-being.
Exactly. It's about acknowledging that we're not just treating a condition. We're supporting a person on their journey to create a family.
Such a good point. Fertility isn't just a medical process. It's a deeply personal and emotional experience.
Absolutely. And having that support system that really gets that is so valuable.
Totally. And that's what I love about the Berkeley Center's approach. They really seem to get it.
They work directly with your fertility doctor, so everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, like a whole team of experts in your corner.
Exactly. And this collaborative approach means you're not in this alone. You have professionals invested in your success, guiding you every step of the way.
It's got to be so reassuring. I feel like that human connection can get lost sometimes in the world of fertility treatments.
I agree. It's easy to feel like just a number on a chart.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the Berkeley Center's approach so refreshing. It's not just about achieving a pregnancy. It's about supporting the whole person throughout the journey.
And that can make all the difference in the world. When you feel empowered and supported, it can totally change the experience.
It really can. It's about moving from a place of fear and uncertainty to a place of knowledge, confidence, and hope.
Exactly. And that's what we're hoping you'll take away from this deep dive. You're not alone, and there's so much you can do to take control of your fertility journey.
One thing that's really stood out to me is this power of small changes.
Oh, tell me more. I'm all about those little tweaks that make a big impact.
Like something as simple as switching out your conventional cleaning products for natural ones.
Okay.
That might seem insignificant, but it's a step towards reducing your exposure to toxins that could be affecting your egg quality.
That's true. And those small steps can add up over time. What other seemingly minor things can have a big impact?
Well, prioritizing sleep is a big one.
Okay.
It's easy to brush off rest. But when you consider how much hormonal regulation happens during sleep,
Right.
it becomes clear that those 7 to 8 hours are crucial.
It's like giving your body a chance to recharge and optimize everything.
Yeah, including the parts responsible for reproduction.
Exactly. Okay, so sleep is key. What else?
Don't underestimate stress management either.
Okay.
Even just 10 minutes a day of meditation or deep breathing exercises can have a huge impact on your well-being.
Including hormonal balance.
Exactly. It's a reminder that self-care is so important, especially on this journey.
I love that. So it's not about making drastic changes overnight.
Right.
It's about incorporating these small, manageable things into your daily life.
Yeah, it's about progress, not
Yeah.
perfection. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a step towards a healthier you.
And that's empowering. It means you have more agency than you think.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
that's what I find so compelling about the Berkeley Center's approach. It's all about empowering you to take an active role.
No matter what challenges you're facing.
Exactly.
And that brings us to a key point we've been exploring today.
Mm-hmm.
How modern medicine and ancient wisdom can actually work together to help people become parents.
It's a really interesting intersection. And the Berkeley Center is a perfect example of how these two worlds can complement each other.
Totally. And it highlights the fact that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to fertility.
Absolutely. What works for one person might not work for another.
So having a personalized plan is key.
Exactly. And that's where the expertise of both modern fertility specialists and TCM practitioners comes in,
You need a team of experts to guide you.
offering both the cutting-edge advancements of Western medicine and the time-tested wisdom of Eastern traditions.
It's like having the best of both worlds.
And that's something we should all feel empowered to seek out a fertility journey that's tailored to your needs, beliefs, and hopes for the future.
Love that. It's about finding what feels right for you and building a plan that supports your individual path.
You know, as we've been talking to the Berkeley Center, one question keeps coming back to me.
What's that?
What makes their services so unique? Why do people travel from all over to seek their care?
That's a great question, especially since there are so many fertility clinics out there. What sets the Berkeley Center apart?
I think it comes down to a few things. First, it's their commitment to personalized care. From the moment you walk in, you're not just a patient. You're an individual.
So it's that human touch, that feeling of being truly seen and heard.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just listening. It's about understanding. The practitioners at Berkeley take the time to really get to know your medical history, your lifestyle, your emotional well-being, even your spiritual beliefs.
Wow. It's like they're creating this holistic picture of you as a whole person.
Precisely. And that's why they're able to develop such targeted treatment plans.
So it's not just about throwing treatments at the problem, it's about understanding the root cause.
Right. And addressing it in a way that makes sense for you.
And that's where the integration of TCM is so valuable again. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Nope. It's about understanding your unique imbalances and creating a plan that's tailor-made.
Like having a fertility detective on your side.
Uh-huh. Love that analogy.
Digging deep to figure out what's really going on and then designing a custom roadmap to help you reach your goal.
The TCM practitioner, as a detective but also as a skilled gardener, carefully tending to your overall well-being to create those ideal conditions for a healthy pregnancy.
I am really digging this gardening metaphor. So instead of just focusing on the seeds, the eggs, it's about nourishing the entire ecosystem.
Exactly. And that's a big part of what makes TCM different. It's not just about treating the symptoms of infertility. It's about getting to the root of the issue and creating balance in your whole being.
And fertility isn't just about our physical bodies. It's connected to our emotional and mental health, too.
Absolutely. And that's why the Berkeley Center incorporates techniques like stress reduction and mindfulness. They know that stress can be a major roadblock.
And we already talked about those pesky stress hormones throwing our whole system off balance.
Right. That's why they include things like meditation, deep breathing exercises, even yoga in their plans.
So it's not just about needles and herbs. It's about cultivating a sense of calm and well-being that supports the whole journey.
Exactly. It's about acknowledging that we're not just treating a condition, we're supporting a person on their journey to building a family.
That's such a powerful reminder. Fertility isn't just a medical process. It's a deeply personal and emotional experience.
Absolutely. And having a support system that understands that is invaluable.
For sure. And that's why the Berkeley Center's collaborative approach is so great. They work closely with your fertility doctor so everyone's on the same page.
Right, and you're receiving the most comprehensive care possible.
It's like having this whole team of experts in your corner all working together to support your unique journey.
Exactly. And that collaborative approach means you're not navigating this complex world alone. You have professionals who are invested in your success, guiding you every step of the way.
I think that human connection can get lost in the world of fertility treatments.
I agree. It's easy to feel like just a number sometimes.
Right.
And that's why the Berkeley Center's approach is so refreshing. It's not just about achieving a pregnancy, it's about supporting the whole person throughout the entire journey.
And when you feel empowered, supported, and understood, it can really change the whole experience.
Absolutely. It's about moving from a place of fear and uncertainty to a place of knowledge, confidence, and hope.
And that's the message we hope you're taking away from this deep dive today. You're not alone, and you have more power than you think.
Speaking of what makes the Berkeley Center unique, I think it's worth mentioning how they really foster a sense of community and support.
Oh, that's so important. Fertility challenges can feel so isolating.
They can. And that's a testament to the Berkeley Center's commitment to creating this warm, welcoming environment.
Where people feel safe to share their stories and struggles.
Exactly. It's so crucial to have that sense of connection, knowing you're not alone.
Absolutely.
And that's why they go beyond just providing treatments. They actually foster community through support groups, workshops, even social events.
Wow, so it's like a whole network of support.
Exactly. It's about creating a space where people can connect with others who truly understand what they're going through.
And share resources and information and support each other.
Exactly. Sometimes just knowing that someone else gets it can make all the difference.
Totally. And that's another reason why the Berkeley Center's approach is so effective. It's not just about the physical symptoms, it's about the emotional and social aspects too. It's about treating the whole person, not just the condition.
Precisely. And that's a big part of what sets them apart.
Yeah.
They understand that fertility is a journey, and they're there to support you every step of the way.
Because the path to parenthood can be full of twists and turns.
For sure. But having a team of compassionate experts by your side can make all the difference in navigating those challenges and ultimately reaching your goals.
Beautifully said. And I think that leads us perfectly into the final part of our deep dive today.
Okay.
We've covered so much, from the science behind egg quality to the power of TCM and the Berkeley Center's amazing approach.
It's been quite a journey, and I hope our listeners are feeling a renewed sense of hope and empowerment.
Me too. Because what we've learned is that no matter what you're facing, you have more control over your fertility journey than you might think.
Here's a final thought-provoking question for our listeners. What small step can you take today to embrace a more holistic approach to your own fertility journey?
Maybe it's adding those antioxidant-rich berries to your diet. Maybe it's scheduling that acupuncture appointment.
Yeah.
Or just taking a few minutes to de-stress and connect with your breath.
Whatever it is, remember that every step you take is a step towards creating the family of your dreams.
You got this. We're cheering you on every step of the way. You know, it's really inspiring how the Berkeley Center has created this sense of community.
Yeah, it's really special.
Especially in a field that can feel so isolating.
It can, definitely. You're right.
It's easy to think you're in this alone, but they've made a space where you don't have to be.
Right.
I imagine that must be so important for people struggling with infertility.
It is that sense of connection.
To know you're not the only one going through this.
Exactly. That's why they go above and beyond just the treatments themselves. They really cultivate community.
Like, what kinds of things do they do?
They've got support groups, workshops. They even have social events.
So it's like a whole network of support then.
It is. It goes way beyond those individual consultations.
That's really neat.
It's about creating a space where people can connect with others who get it. You know,
right? Who've been there.
Who've walked in their shoes. They can share resources, information, and just support each other.
Yeah, just knowing that someone else understands what you're going through.
It can make all the difference.
For sure. So that's another reason why their approach is so successful, I think.
Yeah.
They're addressing the emotional and social sides of it, not just the physical symptoms.
Exactly. Treating the whole person, not just the condition.
And that's a big part of what sets them apart.
It is.
They get that fertility is a journey, not just a destination.
Right. It's not a quick fix.
And they're there to support you every step of the way.
And that path to parenthood, it's rarely straightforward, is it?
So true. There are lots of twists and turns along the way.
But having those experts by your side, those compassionate people who get it, it can make navigating those bumps so much easier and help you reach your goals.
That's a beautiful way to put it. I think that sums up our deep dive perfectly.
Yeah.
We've covered so much today.
We have.
We started with the science behind egg quality. We talked about natural steps you can take.
The things you have control of.
Yeah, exactly. Then we dove into the world of TCM.
That was fascinating.
Acupuncture, herbal medicine, all that good stuff.
Personalized approaches.
And then, of course, the Berkeley Center.
Right. Their incredible approach, combining the best of both worlds.
Ancient wisdom meets modern science.
To create a truly holistic and empowering experience for anyone trying to become a parent.
Yeah, it's been a really insightful conversation.
I hope so.
And I really hope our listeners are feeling a little more hopeful and empowered after today.
I think they should.
Because the main takeaway is that no matter what challenges you're facing, you have more control over your fertility journey than you might think.
You really do.
So as we wrap up, here's a final question for you to think about. What's one step, big or small, that you can take today to move a little closer to your dream of becoming a parent?
I love that.
Maybe it's finally scheduling that consultation with a fertility specialist.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's looking into TCM.
It could be.
Or maybe it's just committing to some of those natural approaches we talked about.
Right.
Whatever it is, remember that every step you take is a step in the right direction.
You're on your way and you're not alone.
Exactly. And you have the knowledge, and that's power. So use that knowledge to create a fertility journey that feels right for you.
Trust your gut.
We're cheering you on every step of the way. And that wraps up our deep dive on boosting IVF success. Until next time, keep diving deep and keep believing in those possibilities.